My name is Vlad and I represent all build inspections. I'm a registered builder with 14 years experience in high-end custom builds. For the last 14 years, I've been on site pretty much every day from 7 o'clock, sometimes till 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And I believe that gives me a very strong background in terms of I know how things are getting built every stage, every second of the build. Right now, I'm doing the building inspections for clients, and my customers are people who purchase a new property and they want to know a little bit more than what is seen on the inspection day that is open by real estate. They want to have an informed decision, and this is why they rely on people like me to assist them in making that informed decision. What I do enjoy about building is the whole process. I am a person who loves creation, and construction and building, it is a very creative process. You create something from scratch. That's what really made me get into the building game, and I believe I was quite successful in that game because I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of people. I can distinguish between good build, average build, and poor build. Can distinguish between a good tradesperson and a bad tradesperson. I can distinguish between a quality product and not so much. The reason I shifted to building inspections in my career was because I've done inspections in the past for very close clients. People just wanted an advice. But then I've seen how much demand is there in the industry. Plus I've seen who does the inspections, and I believe I can provide much better service than a lot of other people. That's what made me to get into this game and to provide a quality service for the customers based on my experience. The current services we offer is a pre-purchase building inspection, pre-auction building inspections, building defect reports, special purpose inspections. We do just pre-purchase building inspections as well as a combined pre-purchase and timber pest inspections. Also, we do non-mandatory stage inspections. That's for the quality assurance of new builds. We use, a wide variety of technology and tools for our inspections. We definitely use moisture meters as being prescribed by Australian standard for pre-purchase and especially timber pest inspections. We use Thermotrack, we use NIF-comp floor leveling. We use different style of levels, including the digital levels. We use a sounding tool for timber pest inspections. We use a thermal camera as an auxiliary to inspect potential water leaks and insulation issues. I believe what makes us different from a lot of other inspectors is we take extra time to investigate rather than just to come and quickly tick off the areas. And by saying investigate, we spend extra time going through details to the best of our abilities, of course considering all the restrictions that are there during the inspections. However, we're not there for 20 minutes or half hour. I heard many others do. The minimum time spent on the premises, and that is 2-bedroom apartment sometimes, is about 1.5 hours. And by saying 1.5 hours for 2-bedroom apartment is not because I'm slow. I believe I'm fit and I can be as fast as I can be, but I'm being thorough. I'm there to document everything that I observe, document it properly so I can present it to my client, because at the end of the day, I'm acting in his interests and I'm there to provide him the best possible information that is available so he can make the best informative decision for his big money investment. One of the most common issues that we find during the inspection is a failed waterproofing in the bathroom areas. Even that happening in the apartments. But failed waterproofing equals significant costs to the client in order to repair, that bathroom, because if the waterproofing has failed, that equals a complete strip out of the bathroom, redoing the full waterproofing and then reinstating the whole bathroom, which is costly. At the moment, I believe typical bathroom renovation would easily start at about $13,000. And this is something that the client might not expect if he's purchasing two-bedroom apartment and he's already on the budget for it. Another problems we do encounter is a raising damp that is typical in the old buildings. That could be due to variety of factors, such as a ruptured plumbing underneath the house, or sometimes it could be a water ingress that comes from the roof. All these things being investigated and put into the report with suggestive measures that should be taken, and sometimes it also involves recommendations for structural engineer to be involved if we believe that the structure of the building is affected. The common scenarios is what I've seen a lot is a faulty paintwork, the tiles that not been put in properly, some roof plumbing is substandard or is not completed. Sometimes the appropriate brickwork clean was not done and requires the rectification. There could be scenarios when the aircon units are not properly connected, the plumbing is not properly connected. It could be trivial things, but those trivial things sometimes, if not attended in time, might cause significant damage. Like we had a situation when a upper bathroom plumbing was not connected, and because people just moved in before Christmas, nobody really used that bathroom. And what a surprise it was when a kid decided to use that ensuite on a Christmas day, and all the water ended up in the kitchen. You guys really want to encounter that situation when your guests are there? The typical process of pre-purchase building inspections booking with us is very simple. The client contacts us through our website or through just other sources of advertising, and all we need to know is the client's name, his contact details, and the address of the property that he wants us to inspect. Once we've got that, we can evaluate the property. And by saying evaluate, depends on the build. Our price will depend on the time that it may require for us to spend. For instance, a three-bedroom house that is sitting on a flat slab and has a flat roof will definitely cost much less than a five-bedroom, double-story house with a pitched roof and a subfloor. Simply because we have two extra areas that we have to crawl into and inspect to the best of our abilities and to the best access that will be available there on a day of inspection. Once we submit our quote, and if the client is happy with our quote, then the process is simple. The client doesn't have to do absolutely anything. We will contact the agent or vendor's representative directly. We will arrange the time for the inspection. We will go there, we will conduct the inspection, and we will submit our report to the client, depending on the scale of report, within 24 hours or thereabouts. But definitely, once the inspection is done, I will contact the client and will discuss with him the main findings that he is there to expect in the report. The problem is buying on the auction is, again, I'm not claiming to be a legal expert. Each time I strongly advise that appropriate legal advice will be obtained by a customer from a legal professional. However, being the auction, as far as I'm aware, you're buying a property as it is. Once the hammer falls, once you win that bid, you bought the property the way that property is. And this is why we strongly advise to conduct pre-auction inspection. So when you're going to that auction, exactly what you're stepping into, exactly what are the potential issues, and you should be budgeting then accordingly before you submit that winning bid. Numerous issues, starting from leaking bathrooms, that if they were leaking there for quite a significant time, first of all, that creates what is known as a conducive condition to the termite attack, for instance. So there could be a termite infestation in a house, but also that could have caused a major rot to the subfloor timbers, making them structurally unsound, and therefore will require the replacement. Any those conditions are just listed equals thousands and thousands of dollars of extra expenditure to make a house safe and sound again. That could be applicable to leaking balconies. Again, we will have the similar situation because that will affect a structural timbers, or for that matter, structure even made out of light gauge steel. We can have issues with leaking roofs. And leaking roofs, that could be, again, it could be maybe due to the faulty roof plumbing, or it could be due to damage to the roof tiles that will require replacement and repointing. It could be a structural issue inside the roof, which makes the house, again, not safe, and a rectification will be required. All those things, it's just the extra costs. When we submit our report, and even when we list a major structural defect, it does not necessarily equal complete knockdown, but it definitely will equal significant amounts be put aside for rectification and repairs. And that is basically adds to the costs of the property purchase. And sometimes those are the costs that the buyer was not accounting for.